Now, have you ever noticed when you're riding a motorcycle or actually doing anything enjoyable, time seems to go just a little faster than when you're doing yard work or mowing the grass, or in my case, doing dishes. It just seems to go quickly. And I jump on the MT09 and I go through the gears a few times, and all of a sudden, I'm in the end of the day and it's time to come home. I don't know what happens. It's like a time machine and it makes time fly. Before we go out to the garage, I want to congratulate Scott. This is a latest addition to his collection. And Scott, this is the early Gold Wings that didn't have a lot of body work. And my late friend Frank Straub had pretty much a similar bike to this, and he loved it. And I know Scott this is a professional restoration by a guy who did cars. Anyway, looking forward to seeing some more pictures of this, Scott. That looks like a beautiful bike. Now, what could be more fun than a day out on the MT09? And this is just going to be one of those days. The weather's supposed to be perfect, and we're ready to go. So it's a normal morning on the farm. I have the normal routine I always do, which includes pre-flighting a bike, cleaning it up a little bit. In this case, we had to lube the chain, so I wanted to make sure at the end of it that the wheel was nice and clean. I don't like having goop all over the back wheel. I don't like having goop all over the bike, in fact. And the initial check of the weather today, it was supposed to be really perfect, just about where you want it, where it's not too hot, not too cold. We're in the prime part of the year for riding in this part of the world. It just couldn't be nicer. And a final cleanup of the wheel. I don't know why I'm so fussy about it, but I am. And I know a lot of my friends are. And the ones that aren't, I always say we could still be friends. I always have to feed the fish, I have to feed the birds, have to check the garden, and I always pick fresh flowers. This time of year we have so many zinnias. I pick fresh flowers almost every day for Karen, and she cooks for me, so it's a good deal. It's a great way to start the day. Check out, make sure the waterfall's not clogged up in a pond. There's always things to do on a pond, and I think in the end, it does keep you young. It does keep you active. You get free exercise. And the birds keep me young. And Karen is always cooking something. Sweet potato soup. When I get back from riding, we'll have sweet potato soup. Ooh, it smells good, baby. I'm always aware of the time. I don't like to waste time. I like to use the time I have available efficiently. I don't like to just, I guess, sit around with nothing to do. I like to stay busy. I know in the end, at the very end, in the bottom of the ninth inning, it pays to stay busy. It pays to eat good food. Karen takes care of that. And it pays to not waste time. There's the ways you can use time. Riding a motorcycle, the exercise you get, the mental stimulation you get, I think those are all positive things toward trying to stay young. And if you squander it and just waste it, well, the one thing for sure is it's gone forever. But that is a true thing for me anyway, is the time I'm on a motorcycle seems to go really, really fast. And I guess a good analogy is you smash your finger with a hammer, and time really starts to slow down. In this part of the world, this time of year, it is really exceptional. There's just so many nice areas here, so many back roads to ride, so many areas where you feel like you're on another planet. It's so deserted. Now, I've led rides in this area, with many friends, many people that were riding for the first time with us. The comments that I always get, and I just remember Joe Roselli recently saying, wow, one of the nicest rides he's ever been on. This is an exceptional part of the world. I don't doubt that for 1 minute. And I've had a few people that were just not happy. They wanted, I think one person in particular, without mentioning names, wanted more sweepers, more big sweepers where you could really get into the high-speed stuff. You don't really get into the high-speed stuff here that much. It's all about the twisties. It's all about coming out of the corners with the throttle pinned. And I think it's a great area to ride. Now, I know not everybody evaluates the riding time the way I do, but I look at the ride and I look at what percentage of the ride was I riding, and I had nobody in the road in front of me, nobody in the rear view mirror, and pretty much I could just get on the gas whenever I wanted to. And that, to me, that percentage of the ride that's like that, with no traffic and no law enforcement and a radar detector not beeping away, the more percentage of the ride I can have like that, absolutely, the happier I am. And the MT09 is such a good choice for the back roads. It is just the most entertaining bike that I've ever ridden. When you get into spots of the road where they're a little off camber, they're a little slippery, there's a few stones in the road, wet leaves, whatever, and it can be the most entertaining ride of your life sometimes. But this time of year, we haven't had the leaves falling yet, and it's just been spectacular. And every time I stop, I look at the bike from every angle I can. I see the trees reflecting in the paint, and I think, wow, I don't want to miss one of these days. Because the truth is, pretty soon it is going to get a little chillier, and then the leaves are going to start falling, and then the worst thing of all, the cold weather comes. And in our part of the world, they have this thing, they start salting the roads to protect you. But it doesn't matter what kind of riding you enjoy, high speeds, you enjoy track days, guys getting into track days now, and just whatever part of riding you enjoy, or you want a cruiser like that Goldwing of Scott's. Boy, that's a beautiful bike. And I just think no matter what bike you enjoy, or if you have a bike collection with many bikes, or if you have one bike, it doesn't matter what. The friends you meet in motorcycling are going to be probably the best people I can vouch for, and to just have friends that enjoy the same thing you do, it's great. Now, in my humble collection of 9 bikes, this is the only one that has traction control. So when I get out on the MT09, I like to try to wear that quick shifter out. And all the safety features just make this such a great bike to ride. Now, my friend Stephen Walker in Australia, he takes the train from Brisbane to wherever he works, and always tells me he watches the latest Windy video on his commute. Well, Stephen, that's cool. Anything you can do to make the time pass pleasantly, especially if you're watching Windy videos, I guess that's good. And for me, the MT09 is just as good as it gets when it comes to making a few hours pass very pleasantly, getting some good exercise, some fresh air, some mental stimulation. It couldn't be a lot better. And there's a lot of little things about the bike too that just make it even more entertaining. The Valentine radar detector, you always feel like you're protected. Hey, look, looks like a pizza oven right out in the middle of this public park. The radar detector, best investment of an accessory I ever made. And my famous formula for customizing a bike. Paint anything that's flat black, shiny black, or a color, and it'll look better than it was flat black. Boy, oh boy, has that worked well for me. And this is the part of the trip that you have to make through some populated areas to get to the nice riding spots. And it's great to have a bike that doesn't draw too much attention, not too loud of an exhaust, and not tearing up the streets here, that you draw attention to yourself. And from this angle, you can see the ergonomics of the bike, where the bars, the width of the bars, the way the seat tapers in the front, the way the tank is very narrow. Those ergonomics work just perfectly, absolutely perfect for me. But the sweetest thing about the whole bike is the power band. There's something magic about that triple, the power band and the low end torque, and how it just takes the gas no matter what mode you're in. And for me, the cherry on the sundae was getting the wheels painted. I custom mixed that paint, and it's a 4-to-1 mix of urethane, and that added another special touch to the bike. But now it's time to get back to the farm. Karen's cooking. She's been cooking every day lately, trying to keep us alive, keep us healthy. And I always, at the end of the ride, I look forward to being back on the farm with Karen. Sweet potato soup ready to blend. What else? You got roasted tomatoes too?
Roasted tomatoes.
Ooh.
To make ratatouille with.
Roasted tomatoes. Ooh. All right, all that's left is to put the bike away for another day. Now this is for sure the best time of the year for me. It's not too cool in the morning. It doesn't get too hot by lunchtime. It is just beautiful, blue skies day, and not much you can say bad about the MT09 other than time goes fast when you're riding your MT09. It's a time machine. So I hope you enjoyed the video. Please hit the like button if you did, and thank you so much for watching.